Hi, I'm Greg Cobb, creative process designer and facilitator at Ideas to Go. And for the creative excursion video today, we're going to be talking about assumption busting, which is an excellent exercise if you are doing some incremental innovation and you need to get some new thinking, some new perspectives on a topic that you may have gone over quite a few times before. The first thing you should do when leading this excursion is create some charts, maybe some worksheets if you can, especially for teams that are less practiced in lateral thinking and these kinds of exercises. The more instruction you can give them, the better, so that they understand where they're trying to go, what they're doing at each step, and it will help them be more comfortable throughout the whole exercise. They'll be asking less questions in their head. So I've gone ahead and created my charts. I've got 5 up here today. The thing that you want to think about when you are leading these excursions is to go really methodically through each step, give people enough time to think about, to really process what they're doing, and then move on in a really clear manner, okay? So for our exercise today, we've chosen the topic, nighttime sleep. Not to be confused with daytime sleep or twilight sleep or sleep during the gloaming. This is just nighttime sleep. When you introduce your topic to the team, be sure to have someone give a little background on it, tell the team why they're interested in it, and if you can even give an example of an idea or the types of stuff that we're looking for when you're starting out the excursion, it's going to help them get to better output at the very end. So we are really interested in nighttime sleep products. We're trying to help people get the 8 hours they need every night so they can wake up refreshed and be effective during the day, be in great moods, and we are going to focus on helping people sleep no matter where they are, okay? So that is step 1, choose your topic, nighttime sleep it is. Step 2, you're going to give the group a couple minutes to make a long list of their assumptions about nighttime sleep, okay? It's important to stress to the team that you want to be exhaustive, that no assumption is too obvious, no assumption is too weird. We want to really stretch out into new territory here. That's the whole purpose of a creative excursion, is to think about the topic in a different way. And the first few items on everybody's list of assumptions that they have about nighttime sleep are going to be the same because people have similar experiences and there are some really obvious assumptions about nighttime sleep. Now, as you get down to the bottom of the list, as you get people out into the 10, 12, 15 assumptions, they're going to start to get weirder, and that's exactly what we want, okay? So say, hey team, you've got 3 minutes to come up with a nice long list of assumptions all by yourself. This is a solo activity, work quietly. I like to keep a timer on my watch. It's super easy to either cut the time short if you're already stressed about the timing of the session, or if you get really engrossed in the topic, it's easy to let it go on too long and waste some time, okay? So we really want to limit this to 3 to 5 minutes, 5 minutes at the max. They're gonna start running dry pretty quickly. That's just the nature of these kinds of excursions. So make a nice long list of assumptions. The next step, before we start to ideate, before we start to riff on these and come up with new ideas, is to give the group some time to cross-pollinate. You can do this in 2 ways. You can have the group break up into teams of 2 or 3, where they sit down and talk to each other, take some notes on the assumptions they had, the assumptions their colleagues had, maybe even come up with new assumptions. Who knows? Anything can happen. The other way to do this is to do it in a large group exercise. So depending on the energy in the room, depending on where you are in the session, you can either have them break up into small teams, or you can say, okay, we're going to do a share out. I'd like to hear an assumption or 2 from every person. If someone says your assumption, or the one you were going to say, cross it off your list, make it so you can still read it so you can refer to it later, but we want to hear new assumptions from each person. Let's go around the room and collect them all, okay? Be sure in either scenario to instruct the people listening to the assumptions to take notes on what they think is interesting. The language, the ideas, anything that sparks in their brain is good to write down so that we have that fodder for later on when we start to generate ideas, okay? So as you see, I came up with, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a lucky number. All right. And they range from, there's a bed, it's dark, some pretty obvious things, to other stuff like I stayed up too late, thinking about tomorrow, there are blankets involved, I assume. That those are some of my assumptions. Okay? We've got the assumptions, we've had the discussion, we've shared it out, cross-pollinations happen. Let's move to step 3. We've got to bust them now. Bust those assumptions. And here's how we're going to do it. You can do this alone. You can do it in groups. It's really up to you and how the team likes to work. But what you're going to do is start asking the questions. What if those assumptions were true? What if I'm not lying down? What if I'm standing somewhere? What if it's not dark? What if I'm not tired, but I know I need to sleep? Okay? So we're going to go through, bust those assumptions, and jump right into step 4. So we've taken the assumptions, we've said, what if these things aren't true? What would the situation look like then? How might we solve for nighttime sleep if I'm not lying down? And this is where you come up with the ideas themselves, okay? I've come up with 3, I must say, brilliant ideas. I'll talk you through them as we go. The ideas are the sleep stand. This is a stand that you can carry around in a backpack. It will let you sleep at the bus stop, the train station, in the airport, fully upright because it can support up to 300 pounds. I've got the Insta Dark pillow helmet. I'm a person who likes to sleep with something over my eyes. I'm imagining this as a memory foam helmet that not only keeps it dark, but is extremely comfortable no matter what angle I'm sleeping in. And then the Limb Comfort customizable blanket, very catchy name. This is a series of blankets that I wrap around each of my limbs. So if my left leg gets cold, I can make it warm again. Or if it gets hot, I can make it cool again. All right? So this is the final step. Generating ideas, it's always a good practice to have the team share their ideas out at the end. Get a couple people to say some ideas that they're really excited about, because the people are going to be getting excited about their own ideas. And it'll really amp up the energy in the room and the session if you give them the time to go ahead and say their ideas out loud. That's it for assumption busting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another video about a different excursion. All right, bye.